Welcome to another gorgeous day on planet Earth and another day of Dose of Did You Know, where inspiring, intriguing, unique individuals come to talk love and life and how it brought them to sitting plop right there in the spot they are today. And back is someone that I love so much, who has so much energy, although he's a little subdued today, Mr. Chris Turner. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Danny? Thank you so much for having me on. It means the world to me.
I am doing fantastic. And I got to do a shout out because, like, I swear, sometimes this brain damage of mine makes me erase memories that should be erased. Like, we don't need to remember those. But sometimes it makes me erase things that I need to remember. And these are them. I wrote it on a sticky note so I wouldn't screw it up. I did not know, or I had forgotten that, I didn't know this, that American Made was 16 on the iTunes chart.
That's right.
I didn't know. I bought it, but I didn't, and I love it, but I didn't know. Very cool. Did not know Forbes magazine feature, and I did not know 70K views for your music video if you drink music. I did not know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a great project, and it's I was very blessed with the people that came around with me and the publicity that I got from it, and going after, my platform has always been veterans. When we talk to, I just want to stop one. So, to be able to do that, with the If You Drink video concept and the way I had envisioned that video and that song coming together, and to have my buddy Randy Couture get on behind it in the Xtreme Foundation, we was really able to make a dent. And I got so many phone calls from veterans talking about, man, this is my favorite song. It means so much to me that you're thinking what I'm thinking. Thank you for putting it in music. And it's been a really phenomenal ride. And I'm hoping my new single, All in the Same Boat, has that same effect. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
I think it's an up. It's going. It's like, here you are. You know what I mean? And you're going to keep riding it. But tell everybody really quickly about who Chris Turner is.
Well, my name is Chris Turner. I come from a town with 2 red lights, a Hardee's, and a Piggly Wiggly called 96, South Carolina. Left there.
Piggly Wiggly.
What's that?
I said you got to have a Piggly Wiggly. It's not the South without one.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Chris Young told me the same thing when I was telling him. It was funny. He's like, you got to have that Piggly Wiggly. I was like, yeah. But anyway, I left there. I joined the United States Marine Corps. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps. And when I got out, it's like, you know what? Let me back up. While I was in the Marine Corps, I learned how to play guitar, and I've always loved to write, right? So I've been writing since I was a kid. Yeah. Poetry, books. I still got a folder upstairs with, the majority of what I wrote whenever I was a teenager. And I was told when I first got to town that crap makes the best fertilizer. So a lot of times I'll go back into that folder and I'll look, and where I look at it being elementary, I can draw from that and create something more up to date, more modern. But I learned, I've always written, and I learned how to play guitar while I was there. So whenever I got back from Okinawa, Japan, and Korea, it's like, you know what? I'm going to get out and I'm going to go to Nashville, and I'm just going to try to see what happens. Just because music has always impacted my life so much, from a standpoint to where it gave me clarity as to who I was and helped me find myself in a time where I was in a really, really dark spot in my life. So, excuse me. With that, I brought that to Nashville, and, when I got here, I thought I was going to set the town on fire and just take it by storm, unbeknownst to the fact of how green I was.
Uh-huh.
Being in town and writing and playing shows and entertaining, it's just like going to the gym and working out. It's a muscle, right? Yeah. So the more you do it, the more you're involved with it, the better you get at it. So I've been here for 10 years now, and I would like to say that I would like to think that, I'm a seasoned veteran in the music industry. And I think it comes across really well in my writing and on my own stage performance as well. So I'm really excited about what the future holds.
Oh, heck yeah. Travis and I were talking about you. Yes, we were chatting behind your back last night because we are talking. We're putting together the MC and the interviews for the 16th when we're going to be live together for the L United event at the Boondocks. But one of the biggest things that was just like blow me away with you, and this is what I was talking to him about, is that it doesn't matter if there's one person in the crowd or 1,000 people in the crowd. You go up there and the energy and what you give out, you can't help but like stand up and shake your booty because you give it all no matter what.
Yeah, I treat every show like it's my last one, man, because I'm telling you, I've really worked hard and cut my teeth. And, you know, you never know if you're ever going to be playing for 5 people or 5,000. You know, I've done both. So, you know, I tell my guys, you know, whenever we take the stage, it's like, you know what? There ain't but 5 people here. You know what? We're going to pretend like there's 5,000 because they may not know who I am, but I guarantee you before we leave, they'll never forget me. And that's my motto. Yeah.
Yeah, you live by that, and that is the truth. Does it ever? Gosh, I'm kind of thinking of myself here, maybe my own insecurities. Do you ever look out there? And I know that's your motto, and you work hard, like, and you live by it. But does it ever get to you sometimes if there is only 5 people, and then because the next week it could be, like I said, you know, 1,000 or 5,000. You never know when you're a performer. Like, does that ever get inside your skin or make you doubt yourself?
No, it doesn't for me, you know, because most of the events that we play are, you know, we really just don't care. You know, we really want to go out and entertain. I mean, we look at it as like whether it's the promoter or the bar owner or whoever, they hired us to do a job. So if we do our job, you know, at the end of the day, our job is to keep his crowd that he brought and promoted in that particular event, to keep them entertained. And, you know, I'll tell everybody, and I'm not saying anything I haven't told anybody else, man, there are hundreds of people in town who will outsing me. There's no question about it. I've got my own style. I do my own thing, and they'll sing me under the table. But there's only a handful of people that'll outwork me. And there's only 2 or 3 people in the town that'll outperform me. And I'm talking about nationals too, because my goal is, you know, I want to perform. I want to be there for the people. I want to make a statement. And like I said earlier, at the end of the day, I want people to take something from a Chris Turner show to where they're like, you know what? That guy's got it going on. He doesn't slack. I can remember 4 people being there, and he gave us 110%.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way we go. That's the way we go after it.
Shoot. Yeah. That's some serious ego control, right? Because I believe ego is there for a purpose, and we're given it for a purpose. It's when that ego gets out of balance and wacky is when you have those kinds of issues. So right there is an example of controlling and understanding your ego. And I love how you talk, like how you said, you're there for a purpose.
Right.
You're going to give that purpose. It's not your job to dig any more into it. You know, that's really, people should apply that to many parts of their life.
And to talk about ego, you know, me and my guys, we've been playing together I've been in town for 10 years, and we've been together for about 6. And, you know, when you're on the road and you're touring, not necessarily like it was in 2020 because of COVID.
Yeah.
We'll see what the rest of this year has to hold in store, right? But I told my guys when we first started, I was like, look, if you're not a cool hang and you can't be part of a team, I don't have any room for you in my band, because the hardest thing in the world is to go out on the road with egos. And as the artist and the guy who's out there performing and getting these shows, I got a trailer load of gear, right? And a lot of people don't know this. I'll go out with my guys and we'll all set up the gear. We'll tear it down together and we'll load it back in. Some guys are like, hey, I'm the artist. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fool with it. Or they have a crew to do that for them. But for me, I try to stay humble, because I know with every action, there's a reaction, right? So if I am to do something completely way off in left field that could potentially damage my image or who I am or my character, then I'm going to react in a way to where I'm going to have to do damage control. So I feel like, you know, if we keep everybody on an even playing field and, you know, everybody feels like a team, like I did in the Marine Corps, if I operate my business like I operated my Marines in the military, I'll get a lot more respect that way, and I'll keep my guy around a lot longer that way.
Yeah.
That theory's worked for me. I mean, it really has, you know, and it's it's been a great ride. I tell everybody I think I'm probably blessed with the best undiscovered talent in Nashville because they're really good.
It's attraction attracts like attraction attracts like attraction, right? The same energy will kind of find their way through it. And what you were just explaining is that's what a leader is. A leader doesn't force, doesn't say follow me or else. A leader just does.
Right.
And then that is the kind of the other leaders that they bring around them. And that is what totally you are. You just explained it, maybe not explaining it in that way, but yes.
Yeah, and I go off the old adage, man. Leadership reflects example. So if you set a good example, you can't be a great leader.
Right.
So kind of my mantra is like, I wouldn't ask my guys to do something I wouldn't do myself, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Is it 6 years? That seems like a long time for the same group of people to be together. Is that true?
In Nashville, yeah, because there's so many, when we started, my guys were guns for hire, trying to make a living. All they do is play music, whether it's on Broadway or pick up gigs with other artists going out to Minot, North Dakota, or down to Florida or whatever. But, as we grew and we built and I started cutting original music, they started buying into what I was doing. And I was explaining to them, I'm like, look, this is where I want to go. This is who I am as an artist. And I really want you guys to be a part of it. So, for me, there's a lot of sacrifice that I've made personally, to ensure that I can keep my guys together. And what I mean by that is like, I take care of them. And when I say I take care of them is like whenever we do benefit shows that are, whether it's veteran shows or whatever, and there's no payday, I'm donating my time and my band, right? My guys still get paid and come in my pocket. And I take the hit on that. And I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. It's me giving back, and I love doing that. But at the same time, I want to make sure that my guys understand how much.
Hold on, you muted.
Got a call come in. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. You're unmuted now.
All right. So, yeah, it means the world to me to be able to take care of my guys and for them to be there. And there's some shows where they played for free for me and said, hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. We believe in what you're doing. So we have built this brand and this music together, and it's been a ride that we've all been on. So, is it hard? Is it a long time for guys to stay together that long? In this town, yes. Because if you look at Aldine, man, he's got the same band he started with. Now were those the guys playing nightclubs with him down in Georgia? I have no inside information on that, but I do know it's the same band he's had since he moved to Nashville, and still runs with them on the road, and they're tight. And Garth's the same way. So is Chesney. So there's something to be said about loyalty and people who buy into your brand and believe in what you're doing. And I'm fortunate enough to where all my guys do that.
Yeah, definitely. And that energy right there, I think probably is part of the energy that you feel when you're watching your show, when watching you perform. It's you, but it's also everything around you too that magnifies and lifts up you as the head guy, the featured person. Totally, I get that now.
Yeah, it's and like you said earlier, it's not egos, because after we walk off that stage, I walk up to the sound guy and I walk up to my band and I'm like, you know what, guys? I said, what? I was like, thank you for making me look like a rock star tonight. I couldn't have done it without you. I give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And if somebody's off that night, I'll walk up to them and say, hey man, you know what? We had a great show, but we need to tighten up. We need to get back in the war room, which is where I'm sitting right now. We need to rehearse. This is what we need to do. And there's no gamut about it. I'll get a 12-pack of beer and order about 3 or 4 pizzas. They'll come over to the house and we'll rehearse for 3 or 4 hours and make sure we're tight for the next show. So, yeah. It's a family. It's a family, and it's but at the end of the day, it's about believing in each other and moving forward and seeing the bigger vision that we have. So
right. That's cool. Having that bigger vision. Tell the story about the money that is in your. Because I love that story.
So I moved, and it's ironic too. I moved to Nashville in 2010, and I'm coming up I-24 West out of Atlanta, And when you come up 24 West and you merge on the 40, all you see is the skyline and a bowl, right? And I'm like, man, that's a big town. What have I done? How am I ever gonna break in? I don't know anybody here. It's just me. So get situated, get settled, get moved in. And just around the corner in North Nashville from where I live, there was a little, it's gone now. I think it's an antique shop. But there was a place called the Star Cafe. Now, this Star Cafe, we walk in and there's like a sign up on the wall that says "Sing for your supper." I'm like, oh, okay. So here's one of those stories I heard about on CMT, right? So I'm like, well, I guess some of it is true. So I talked to the owner, and her name was Sally Finley. And I got to talking with her, and I'm like, you sound awfully a little bit more southern than Nashville. Where are you from? She's like, I'm from a little town called Greenwood, South Carolina. I was like, shut up. She said, what do you mean? I was like, I'm from 96. She's like, well, I'm from 96 too. I just don't tell anybody that because nobody knows where it's at. I've been in town up here for 10 or 15 years, and I started this restaurant, and come to find out, I knew her family back home. She was like, this is amazing. She's like, who's your parents? And I told her who my parents was. She's like, yeah, I graduated with your daddy. I was like, oh my God, it's so crazy. So she's like, hey, Friday nights we do Sing for Your Supper, and we have somebody come in and play. You can put a tip jar out, and you can play, I'll feed you, and you can play for tips. I'm like, okay, cool. So here I come. I'm all big and bad, just walking into the place, strutting my guitar case, and sit down. Wasn't a soul in there. So I grabbed my guitar out, and it's like, because, I'm used to playing back home. I was used to playing campfires and get-togethers with friends and biased opinions about, oh, man, you're so great. Oh, yeah. Right? So I got up here. I got inside, and I plugged my guitar in because they had house sound. And I started playing, and then 2 people came in the door. No, it was 3 people came in the door. No, it was 2 people. I'm sorry. It was 2 people that walked through the door, and they sat down probably 6 or 10 feet in front of me. And it was eating, right? They'd ordered their food and they sat there. And then after they got done, they sat around for about another 10 or 15 minutes. And they walked up and they tipped me $3. And I had played for 3 hours. And there wasn't another soul. I played for about another 30, 45 minutes and nobody else came through the door. I took those $3 and I put them in my guitar case. So every time I go to reach for a pick now, I remember where I came from. And those, it was a very humbling experience. And then as I made my way through town more, I played for a crowd one time to where it was just me and a guitar player, and there was 50 people sitting on a patio for 3 hours, and I didn't even get one look or one applause, or a tip. So it's and after that night, I came home and I sat on my back porch and I was like, man, I need to go back to the house. I don't know if I need to be here or not. I was really considering that. Mm-hmm. And then I reached out to a friend of mine. He's like, what are you playing? I'm like, I play the stuff that I like. And he's like, man, you can't play what you like. You got to play what's current and what people want to hear. So I redid my set list. I got with my band and we started throwing some Stones and some Tom Petty and, diverse genres, because I'm cutting my teeth trying to play these 4-hour cover shows to get a paycheck, but also get my name out and be entertained. Right. So, as I did that, more people would come out, more people would come up and say, like, man, you guys are tight, man. You're doing pretty good. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. And then when I started getting feedback, I was like, okay, there might be something to this. Mm-hmm. And then, so in short, that's the story of the $3 that are in my guitar case. And the old stories that you might see on CMT or on social media about playing for 2 people and $3, and it's legit. I can remember going up to Pennsylvania because I had a show that canceled on me in West Virginia, and I had to go up to a bar called Rinky Dinks in Amity, Pennsylvania, with me and my guitar player to play for tips for 4 hours. We made $80 to get gas money to drive back to Nashville because we got stood up on a gig that I had in West Virginia. So I've lived it all, man.
Yeah. I love the $3 story because it's almost like, yeah, you got to remember where you came from, but it was also, I feel like, God's little gift because of all of those like interconnections of like, yeah, you are a small fish in a big pool. You know, you came from the vice versa, but this is it, but keep doing it because it will work. You know, that's how that story makes me feel. You know, it was just a little gift that you were given.
And you keep talking about, you know, keep doing it, it'll work, right? What's really refreshing now is like whenever I do like down at Bold Patriot Brew House, downtown Nashville in off Charlotte Avenue. Mine runs that bar. So whenever I advertise and I've got a show down there and I'm doing stuff for veterans, it's really cool to see 15 or 20 people that I saw the week before come out to my show, and I've got a following now.
Yeah.
You know, that way for about the past 2 years since the If You Drink push. You know, we got, like I said, we got a really good feedback from that. So now it's really cool to see familiar faces in the audience now. So
it's so cool.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that is so cool. It's like, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. As long as you stay true to who you are, my belief. As long as you stay true to who you are, like right now in this moment, right, that'll just keep going. It's like a snowball effect. Oh
yeah, man. I try to live my life 1 second at a time because I've seen in my past to where you're not guaranteed tomorrow. Yeah. I don't try to plan ahead. You know, we'll come up with ideas and things that we want to do. Mm-hmm. You know, like we had this whole idea for this Freedom Tour to launch in 2020 to where we were going to do nothing but VFWs and American Legions and play free shows, right? Yeah. Get locked in with a partner of mine down in Birmingham, Alabama, and we were going to hit the road and we were going to go. COVID hit, shut it all down. Well, now, fortunately for this year, 2021, you know, I've actually got a conference call later on today about it. We're trying to get it off the ground in March or April. And, you know, I guess God strategically made that happen because, you know, there's other sponsors and donors that came to the table who really love the idea of what we're going to do to where hopefully they'll get involved too, to where we can make it more than just 20 or 25 shows. Maybe we can take it nationwide. Right now, we're just looking at it. So we'll see what happens. You know, I'm glad to be a part of it. Yeah, we'll see. Whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen because I feel like that is just your jam. You've really, you're the guy that kind of is level-headed and does the craft, hones the craft, and just kind of like my favorite saying is basically lead with love, right? You can't. That's all you can lead with. So I'm excited to see you in person again, live on Saturday. So yay at the Boondocks. We'll be there. You'll be performing. We'll do another live interview there. And actually for everybody else to watch online that doesn't live in Tennessee or isn't going to buy a plane ticket to come to Tennessee, which they're cheap now. So just get on a plane and do it. So I'm excited to see what you have and what you're going to bring in on Saturday. Anything like new and exciting, or you got a surprise for me? Well, I don't know if we did it last time you were in town, but you know, with what we've been doing with the promotion for All in the Same Boat, you know, we've got that really down pretty tight, and I'm hoping to debut one of my new singles that we're going to try to release the middle of the summer that nobody's heard yet. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot more of the same, a lot more energy, and you know, just go out there and do what we got to do for L United. And I'm just, you know, I got to give a huge shout out to Michelle Baxter for having us be a part of it. You know, it's she's a really great friend, and she's really bought into the lies that I've been telling her. So, but no. She's a huge supporter of mine, man. And you know, anytime she brings me a veteran event, I try to do it. You know, I love giving back. You know, I really, and that was the whole thing about my platform is like, you know what, if I can be a voice for somebody and help save their life or brighten their day or whatever the case may be, then I've done my job, and I feel like I've done what the good Lord gave me the opportunity to do. I mean, it's His talent. I'm just trying to use it. Yeah, and you are, and Michelle, she's a pure woman, so she has a place in my heart just because of that. She is one of those good doobies. So before I let you go, I ask you to answer my last question with the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't overthink it. Just blurt it out. In this moment right now, Mr. Turner, what does love mean to you? You know, I don't think it's a 20-year red. I don't think it's a yacht or a Malibu beach house. I think it don't cost a thing. I think it's just, you know, the feelings that come from yourself, that you actually, the love for mankind, and you know, how much you get out of it, what you put into it. So with that being said, you know, it's funny you say that. We've actually, I haven't recorded it yet, but we wrote a song called "Love Don't Cost a Thing," and that song emulates exactly the way love should be.
Yeah.
You know, about turning. You know, I think love is turning 90 on a front porch swing with the person that you love and sitting there watching the sun go down.
Right.
You know, loving your fellow man, reaching out and giving back, or patting somebody on the back whenever they're having a bad day and telling them, hey, you know what, it's going to get better. You know, I think that's what love is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not the hate that we've had in the world in the past. That's for sure. So
yeah,
that's my thing, love. And one more thing before we leave, I was going to tell you something. I don't think Heather's going to be here in January. I think we're going to do it in February. But I'll tell you what, Heather Clark, man, we are writing something really, really cool.
Oh,
I'm really excited about it. And I wish, if we get it done before January 16th, I might debut it on my own. But the thing is, it's a duet. So
yeah,
I might be able to pull it off by myself. But if not, I may just wait until she comes to town and we'll do it together in February. So it's gonna
I will be there for that. She did tell me, and I am stoked to listen to what you guys have created together. So I'll be there in February too. So
there you go.
Once again.
I get to see you twice within a month. Yay!
Yes. I don't know if you're like, oh, good God, or actually, yay, but it's happening.
You're good people, Danny.
Oh, I can't wait to see you. And it's going to be a great night for another great event. And you're amazing. Thank you so much for sharing who you are and actually not holding your gifts inside, just being brave and letting them spread through the world. So thank you for that.
Well, you can do it, man. It's the only way you can do it.
That is the truth. And for everybody else out there that is watching, remember, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.